Hi, Alex. How are you doing? Hope you're well. How was your day? Hope you had a good one. I'm alright, thank you. Yeah, went for a walk earlier and stuff. So yeah, you're going to a rodeo tonight. Oh, cool. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Where are you from, by the way? Anyway. It's you like the live. Oh yeah, Georgia. I think you was here the other day, weren't you? Yeah. State of Georgia. Not the country of Georgia, that was it. I remember now. Yeah. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Let's see who we got in here. We've got two people now, apparently. So, what's everybody up to this weekend? Let's have a look at the weather to see if it's going to be good. It looks like it's supposed to be some rain tomorrow, isn't it? Hi, Mr. Cowan25. How you doing? Hope you're well. Absolutely nothing. Oh, very nice. Yeah. You got any plans for the summer, guys? Anyone going away anywhere on holiday or anything like that? Yeah, I've not got anything planned really. I'm just chilling. Oh, that's good then. Anyway, make sure you like the live. Thank you for the like, whoever that was. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of chat random stuff and just see where it goes really. But yeah, so I was thinking about how over exercising can be like bad for like energy and stuff. You just stress yourself out and then you just get tired, and then you don't have much motivation for anything else. So you want to make sure you're just keeping things in the right balance. Yeah, I've not really got much planned for the weekend really. So yeah, yeah, not really got much to do really, but yeah, probably do some live streaming or whatever, but we'll see what happens really. Just got to try and keep an open mind, but nothing planned, so you never know what's around the corner. Sometimes something will just pop up and yeah, it's like totally unexpected. And maybe do some shopping. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's got to be done, hasn't it, I suppose? Unless you do delivery or whatever. Some people will just get their shopping delivered now. It's more convenient for them that way. The only thing is I've heard when sometimes they will just put random stuff in your thing. I don't know. I'll have a look. See if I don't know, it doesn't look that bad to me, but I don't notice anything wrong with it, but we can try and give it a wipe. No, I'm not from China. Oh, now you can just see the floor, so just flip the camera around. Alright. Oh, Scotland. Oh yeah. Alright, let's get rid of Bye. Hi, Antrim Woods. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. welcome to the live stream. Share this out if you can, everybody. Sharing is caring, as they say. Anyway, thank you for the 2 likes. Where is everybody tonight? Hopefully it gets a bit busier, I don't know, but just got to wait and see like how all this goes really, but there's no guarantees with any of this stuff, is there really? You just gotta, you know, just gotta wait and see really. Anyway, sometimes they just don't push me out at all really, or hardly. So, anyway, hi party house cat. Alright, let's get rid of them. What's this? What's this? Hi there, I'm a sub. Thank you, Daryl. Just need to go with, what's that? Just need to go with, you mean go with the flow? Is that what the whole thing you mean? Yeah, it can be a bit hard when there's not much going on in the chat and stuff. It's better when there's more to bounce off and stuff, but, you know, it's best to just kind of, like, not really take any notice as to, like, how many people and stuff, just kind of, yeah. Okay, we're getting trolls now. Yeah. Not Sony for a while. The hell's going on here? It's getting stupid. I've never been to prison, you know, about. So getting rid of all the trolls and stuff, just leave me alone. But it's like even when it starts getting busier, it gets the wrong kind of people, so yeah. Where are all the good people at, you know? Where are all the ones that actually, you know, have proper conversation and stuff, but just keep doing, oh nah, I'm not doing that. I know people say, oh well, if you keep them there, it helps your channel. Nah, fuck it. I just can't be arsed with them. All it's not going to do is just make me negative and just, you know, it's just all positive stuff only, you know. Even if someone's going to argue, oh, it's bad for the algorithm, but it's like, I think if I'm being negative, that's going to be worse for the algorithm. Yeah, hi Venom, how you doing? I hope you're well. But yeah, just, so yeah, you know, I don't need, I think you were saying that, Venom, as well, with like these negative comments. It's like, you know, like I'm battling my own issues without having to deal with all those people, so I just don't want those people in my channel. They just bring their negativity. I'm trying to kind of fight all that shit off, trying to be positive without these people just trying to kind of troll and whatever, so. Most days your videos get age restricted, huh? What you mean? Why would they get age restricted? No, I just like mute them or whatever. I haven't been to prison. Let's get rid of this person. What? Hang on. The moon thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not even sure if we went in the first place. I mean, who knows? At the end of the day. Yeah. Like, who knows really what's happened and stuff, like. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to just, you know, shift my identity away, like I said, you know, just trying to move away from just all the negativity, the drama, all that kind of stuff, and just focus on the reality that I want to affirm. So whatever it is that you want in your life, you have to live as though it's already happened. What's that, Mr. Cowan? Hi, Rio. How you doing? Hope you're well. That's another one from New Zealand. Like, if people go to watch your old live videos, they are age restricted and not playing. What the hell? I don't know what's going on with that. Is it because there's swearing in it or something? I don't know. I didn't know anything about that. I don't think I've had any notification of age restriction, but I haven't age restricted them. The only restriction is just not for kids. That's the only thing I put on it, so that's fucked up, isn't it? What do you want to discuss, bro? I haven't really got anything planned. I'm just kind of goals. That's what I usually do. Did do some working out earlier, so yeah. Yeah, the moon thing, I don't know. I just don't really pay attention to any of that stuff. I don't pay attention to conspiracy theories because at the end of the day, it's like, how is that going to benefit me? I don't know. Hi Annie, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh well. Hi Tab. Hi Videos Fever. Can I talk about anything? I mean, as long as it's within reason and not inappropriate or anything. But I like to focus on health, fitness, and mindset and stuff like that on here. Those are my main sort of things that I'm trying to focus on going forward. Yeah. Hi Stretch. How you doing? Are you from Australia? Yeah, we've got someone from Australia. We've got a couple of people from New Zealand. Hello, Arush. Hey, bro, where are you from? I've been going around asking strangers, streamers, and friends to analyze people and their ideologies, so I wanted to ask as well, what do you think the purpose of life is? Well, maybe there is no, like, inherent purpose of life. Maybe you're supposed to just make your own, because who's to say that, you know, their way is the right way and all that. Hello, Scotty Manley. How you doing? Okay. Keep going with it then. Hello, Pradeep. How you doing? Testosterone voice. Do you mean a voice like I've been on, opinion on Luxmax? And I think certain bits of it are okay, but it's when people go to the extremes where I would take problem with it. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Leon. How you doing? The purpose of life is to have the experience, go on the journey. Well, yeah, it's all about the experience really, but everyone's got their own interpretation of what the purpose of life is. It's like people's ideas of success and stuff. Everybody's got their own idea of what success is. Wolverine with a bad haircut. Okay, that's your opinion. It's 8:29 in the morning here in New Zealand. Oh yeah, it's like, what is it now? It's 9:28 p.m. in the UK right now. So yeah, you're like 11 hours ahead. I wish you success. Thank you. I'm already successful in the 4D. So this is the stuff I've been looking into. Colm Feeney says fact. So, you know, living it in the, or living from the end state. So I don't know if you've looked at, like, say, Neville Goddard or anything like that, law of assumption. So basically, whatever your desire is, what you do is, like, before you go to sleep, like, spend a bit of time imagining yourself in that reality, you know, actually, as not as some kind of external thing, but rather you fully immerse yourself into it with your five senses. So eventually the subconscious mind will start to look for confirmation to bring you into that reality sort of thing. So it's about shifting your alignment to what it is that you want. So instead of, you know, the scarcity mindset. So one of the things I've been looking at is, you know, with like money, right, where people will be stingy with money, right? And I think this might actually be what's holding people back. So this stingy money mindset that, oh, I'll just buy an option the cheaper nasty option because oh, you know, I'm kind of broken. I don't really want to be forking out for like the expensive stuff. Well, that's just kind of keeps reinforcing you that you're poor, you know. So like you have to change your mindset. So yeah, basically, so maybe like being like stingy, and it's not the same thing as resourcefulness and frugality. That is about like minimalism and about only buying something when it serves you and you need it. Like for example, you could go to like a discount store and get something that's the same quality. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I think that's a smart to do. But the problem is when people get stingy out of a fear, because they fear that they can't afford things. But if you switch your mindset to abundance, then you're not gonna be like buying cheap shit out of fear of not having money or something. Yeah, buying the cheapest means you'll have to buy it again later. Well, there is that as well. Hi, Tiger King. Good to see you. How you doing? What football team do I like? I don't watch football. What county are you from, England? Originally Lancashire, but I'm currently in York. But yeah, even if it's say like just the quality, so like quality of food, sometimes you might have to like get the cheaper quality food because you think, oh, I can't afford the good quality stuff with better quality ingredients in it that taste better and it's better for you. But now some people like to say, oh, but some people are actually broke though. Well, I'd actually say part of it's like a mindset thing, because again, you know, the law of assumption. It's like if you assume yourself as poor, then you know actually your reality will filter out opportunities that were there. So you won't actually see any opportunities because you assume that there are none. You see. Because then the subconscious mind doesn't actually even believe it's even possible. So why would it even present opportunities to you if it doesn't think they're possible? So that's what it comes down to, is, you know, if you assume that there's abundance and there's opportunities everywhere, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to see it more often, because it's got a thing called the reticular system, whatever. It's basically to do with the subconscious mind. That's the scientific interpretation of it. So you don't even need to be some kind of spiritual person to understand how this stuff works. Hello, Kant. So there was somebody that put a comment on my video, which I thought would be interesting to highlight, because you're from Harrogate, Philoskult. I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah, Venom, I used to like. What was your name again, anyway? But not that it really matters, but. Yeah. Hello, Ghost. How you doing? Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. Does US have a healthcare system? Well, they do, but they have to like pay for it. But then you could say, well, the UK, you have to pay, like people like with national insurance. Yeah, shout out Borrow by Diet Water. Yeah, diet water. How can you have diet water? It's like, yeah, I guess they're just trying to be silly with that. But yeah, well, thank you all for joining me tonight. Hello, Duncan. Is it like instead of I will win, act like you already have one? Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Living from the end state instead of where the 3D circumstances are. The idea that the 3D is just a reflection of past assumptions, right? Once you get into that mindset, everything shifts, because now you no longer are in this sort of insecure and scarcity mindset, because you realize that this is actually not your full potential. What you're seeing right now, that your potential is whatever you can imagine it to be. Because you could then imagine more stuff with more experience and stuff. But yeah, so imagine what you now, but then as you get more and more advanced, then your potential increases. So just anyway, Hello, UK medical for 20. What do you mean, you gone? My cousin used to live in NY. He fled us due to living. Yeah, I've heard it's been really expensive in NY. It's just crazy, but yeah, it's so ridiculously expensive here. It's only worth it if you have some rare condition. Hello, Tay Tay. How's it going? I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a rare condition that is expensive to treat, and it's still expensive as F. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard a lot of people struggle with insulin and stuff, getting their insulin because it's just so expensive. So, but I've also heard, because people say it's because of capitalism and all that, but then I've also heard that a lot of it's because of the regulations and like all of the stuff. People are saying that there should be like a generic insulin available for everybody. Wouldn't that be like a true free market capitalist kind of idea where you would have companies able to compete against each other instead of some frigging patented insulin or whatever that's got the same formula? It's like they could use that same thing and compete. So that way, I think in some cases, like intellectual property is important. Like for example, with like music and art and things like that. But I think when it comes to things like medical bullshit, it's like when it comes to any sort of medical thing, I think there shouldn't be such a thing as like intellectual property rights and all that, because to me that's because when people need medication, it should be as cheap as possible, really. Hello, Gates of Babylon. What color is your Bugatti? Hello, Game Devep Unreal from Australia. Alright, so I'm just gonna get. What is it with these people? They're just being so stupid. Like, red. Okay. Yeah. Who else is still in here? Hope you're all well tonight. But yeah, so living from the wish fulfilled as opposed to living from lack. Because this is, I think, is why a lot of people struggle with finding love and whatever, because they don't feel it within. You've got to, first of all, change your self-concept to that of, I am loved. And to start off that is you've got to love yourself. But you can assume that other people are loving you then, because once you learn to love yourself, then you then start to think, well, I'm capable of being loved. And then you can be like, oh, well, such a person loves me. If you are hoping that somebody loves you, but then you feel like they don't, then that's the problem, because you have to change your perspective on that. Change yourself to, I am the prize. I am loved because I am the prize. That you have to sort of, change your mindset around things. Instead of having these kind of like self-limiting beliefs and. Hello, welcome back, Alex. Pilot, what you mean? Hello, Pranav. How you doing? What's this? You're doing an amazing job, and your dedication truly shows in your work. Keep going strong and never give up on your dreams. You have my full support always, and I believe you'll achieve great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have you ever thought of visiting Canada? I have, actually. Your happiness always concerns. Yes, that's right. You have to find happiness first. You can't expect someone to give you happiness. They can obviously make it better, I mean, I would say that, now some people say don't rely on someone else for happiness, but then, yeah, you've got to be happy first, but someone can also make you more happy, I guess. It's all about magnifying what you already feel. That's all that they can do, basically. If they're not making you more happy, then there's really no point in, is how I see it. So that they have to make you more happy, otherwise there isn't any point to it. You're just kind of wasting your time then. Yeah, I'm James now. That's my new identity. I've now become James. James Brown, you know? So that's the thing, is the mental shift of like, now I'm cool, I'm this mysterious kind of, I'm James now. Just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds more dark and mysterious than Jamie, I don't know. I mean, there's quite a lot of girls called Jamie as well, so I'm too old for him. Yeah. Anyway, Snath. I don't know who that is. Who's that? Maybe you can enlighten me about that. Thank you for the 11 likes, everybody. I like to do Donald Trump impressions. I'm the greatest Trump impersonator on the internet. Hope you all had a tremendous day. Yeah, that's one of my favourite ones. Who else can I do? Yeah. Well, you said you're from Canada, right? Hello there. I'm Jordan Peterson, you know. It's a little bit exaggerated, but you know what I mean. What the hell are we gonna do without men? Imagine if Trump was seeing this. Oh yeah, hello, well that'd be very unlikely, but yeah, I remember that. I think it was Jimmy Fallon or something where he was actually doing an impression of him right to his face, like he was all dressed up like him, and he was like doing the whole I'm Donald Trump, and we're gonna build a border wall, Mexico. Oh goodness. Do you know about the great? Sorry, I don't know who that is. Anyway, hello Swissoon, how's it going? I won 260 in the casino in Canada yesterday on the final day of my trip. Oh really? Oh, congratulations. Hello Sidewalk Smudge. Oh, thank you. Duncan says, I find that if I make the effort to make someone else happy, that tends to make me happy. I tend to be the nicer version of myself. Yeah, I think there is truth to that, you know. Because some people can have this attitude of like, well, what's in it for me to make them happy? But they're just like miserable people who just, it's like, I don't know, they're like, do you really not get any enjoyment out of seeing others happy? I don't know. It's like, I like to try and help people, and what made me change my name, I did it in the last video. I explained it in the last video, so yeah. Anyway, but that's just all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, people. Well, only certain parts of Canada have accents. The rest of us sound American. Oh yeah. Yeah, I noticed that some either sound like distinctively like Canadian, or they just sound kind of a bit American or something. Oh really, Alfie? Well, thank you. I had it cut like a few weeks ago, but yeah. What's something you believed when you started streaming that you completely disagree with now? Good question. I guess like, you know, I've had a lot of beliefs over time and stuff that I've kind of changed up, I guess. Trying to think of anything in particular. Yeah, like there was certain like conspiracy stuff that I used to be really into, but then I changed up my beliefs on some of that because yeah, I got kind of sucked up into it all, like a lot of it, and you have to really kind of, you know, look at both sides of things really to get a more balanced point of view. I'm not saying that conspiracy is dull. It's just some of the internet ones just seem to be a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you. You know, looking back at it all. Yeah, like there was some weird conspiracy stuff that I used to be like into and stuff. But yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I try to just not really get too involved in that kind of stuff anymore. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I don't know about you now. I mean, hello Tori, how you doing? I don't drive, why are you asking? Happened with 9, well I mean I think there's something up with 9/11 now, but I don't believe the official narrative, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, well there was that whole Building 7 thing, but I don't know too much about it, but I just think that there was something off with 9/11, but I mean, but anyway. How easy is it to get around the UK without a car? I guess it depends where you live. I mean, it depends on where you need to go. Like if you have a job where you need a car or something, like there are people who have certain jobs that they can't really do it without a car. I remember, like for example, you had school teachers. I remember there were one when I was living in Blackburn. There was someone from like Lancaster or somewhere like that. They wouldn't have been able to get there without a car probably, because then they would have to get on a train or something or a bus, and so it would just end up taking probably a lot longer. It would just be a lot more complicated. It would probably cost a lot more money as well. So for some people, it would make sense to have a car. Hello, Thedge DNC5G. Central London is okay without a car. Well, they usually just go on the tube, don't they? Can you PayPal me? I mean, no, you guys can PayPal me. I don't know, but I've got my link down below if anyone wants to PayPal me. But you know, not PayPaling anybody here. But yeah. Anyway, some people it's audacity, don't they? You know. Anyway, yeah, hope you've all had a good day. Thank you all for joining me this evening. 20 miles an hour limits everywhere. Yeah, that's true. So it's like, for some people it's actually quicker to get on a bike, go around London. You see a lot of people pushing a bike around centre of London, because to drive around there, it's like, 20 mile an hour limits, and they're probably going at like 5 to 10 miles an hour for the most part, you know, kind of, it's all just blocked up, and it'd be a nightmare driving around there, you know. I think I remember I was in London once and we got kind of stuck in London for a while. It's not really fun to get through, but I think most of the time when I've been around London, they tried to time it in a way where it would be kind of like not so busy or something. But it's always going to be busy in London. Like even at night time, like dead of night, it's still busy. Yeah, it's just total chaos. I don't like it. I don't like how when you're even just like walking around there at night, even especially during the day, it's just really, really busy. It's just, yeah, it's bad enough where I live. I just find that, these cities are just chaos for me. I'm more into like countryside and more peaceful areas and stuff like that, rather than big cities. Just doesn't appeal to me. Like they can be nice for certain things. Like when I was in London, I went to like Natural History Museum and stuff like that, and got to see some nice things. But like I could never live. It's just, yeah. Anyway, hello all for Brianna. What do you mean by that? Does its ups and downs in London? Oh yeah, yeah. It reminds me that I once asked was it elevator tech how their job was going, and they said it has its ups and downs. Restore it. What you mean? Okay. Thank you for the 12 likes, everybody. Let's get to 20 likes. It's vibrate. What are you talking about, Brianna? What's going on? What is it with these weird comments? Is it because of the deep voice or something? Is that what you mean? Like, there's some random weird comments in here sometimes. Angie, I used to work on that joke really quick. Oh yeah, I bet. Manchester's bad enough, really, but yeah, it gets really busy around York. For the size of it, it just gets really packed. Probably one of the most like densely populated. Well, it's not even the population; it's the tourism. And sometimes you just get people just dicking around, like, and without any regard, like these cyclists that go around. Okay, one Jeremy Berg. Don't know how you pronounce it. Hippocrates, how you doing? Have you put weight on? I mean, I put weight on over like the last few years and stuff. Just kind of gradually going up. Yeah, I've been gaining like muscle mass and stuff, and that's what my goals have been. Trying to just get stronger and put on some muscle, fill out my frame. Because I used to be like really skinny and stuff, and it was just kind of getting to me. Yeah, at one point I just got really, really skinny. I was like, yeah, I need to sort this out. Yeah. How do you hit protein on plant-based? So yeah, just try to eat enough food and just kind of not too much crap. As long as I'm eating like good food, and like most stuff has some protein, but yeah, but trying to focus on things like nuts and other high protein sources. Just about kind of taking the protein content and just kind of mixing it up. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're not just eating one protein source a day, like, because you do want to combine different protein sources to make sure that you're getting like complete proteins and stuff. Hello, Adele Moser. What are you on about? Oh, it's you again. Well, yeah, cheese are good. And lentils, yeah. Yeah, split peas as well, they're good for protein. What else is there? Hemp seeds are meant to be really good as well. But they've got quite a lot of fat as well, but they've got like good fats, they've got omega-3s in them. Oh yeah, seitan's good. I've never tried it, but yeah. But it's some people say it's like a kind of steak replacement, like it's got that sort of texture to it, because it's made from wheat gluten. So like to make it, so if anyone's looking for like a high, protein plant-based food, is you would take like some like flour, and then you would basically kind of strain it or something, and you're straining out all the starch of it. Just you can watch a video to learn how to do it, but basically, yeah, it's got something like 75% protein or something crazy. So it could be quite an easy way. But then the only problem is that, well, what do you do with all the starch then? I don't know. Maybe you could just kind of use that for someone else. I don't know. Because I wouldn't want to just end up with starch out of the, yeah. Plenty chips. And chips are probably not the best protein source really, but it's just, yeah, but there is plenty of sources out there that are adequate. But yeah, I mean, but there is some kind of silly memes out there, like when they were comparing like the protein of, say, like broccoli to like some other, I think steak or whatever. But the problem is that you would have to eat so much to even get to the same level of, say, like beef or steak, because yeah, it might have more protein per calorie, but the amount of protein that it has per volume it's gonna make it hard. Even when you cook it, it's still got a lot of water in it, which, if it's got a lot of water, it's gonna be harder to eat enough volume of it. That's why, say you've got like vegetables and even fruit and stuff like that, like unless it's like bananas, or actually, I mean, just in terms of like trying to eat calories, I'm talking about, not talking about protein at the moment, but yeah, the amount of volume of food you would have to eat. I think that's why a lot of people struggle on raw food diets, because of the volume requirements. You could always like make them into smoothies and stuff, but you would probably have to eat a lot of bananas and stuff like that to try and maybe some dates as well, stuff like that. But I don't necessarily recommend fully like raw diets anyway, because there are certain foods I think you should probably cook. I think probably mushrooms should be cooked and stuff like that. But yeah, like there are certain foods that need to be cooked, and there are benefits to having things like oats and what have you. So yeah, pulses and beans and nuts and seeds. Yeah, a lot of like kind of those type of foods like seed. They're all kind of basically like seeds, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, more per volume, but yeah. The only way you could really get a lot from like plant-based would be if you dry them or something. Like if you dried, say like what is it? I'd have to have a look at find out like, for example, obviously you wouldn't want to eat tons of it, but let's say for example nori, because that's like a dried thing, isn't it? Let's just use this as an example. So this is what it says about, it's about 30 to 50% protein by weight, apparently. But you probably wouldn't want to eat too much of it, but it could be a source of protein. Hello, Hassini. How you doing? But they can be quite expensive though, so. But I've heard they're quite high in like iodine and stuff. I've heard iodine's supposed to be good for regulating the thyroid or something. Because I've heard if you've got like hyperthyroid or something, it can apparently help people with that in some cases. I remember there was this thing on like radioactive iodine and people using that to try and regulate their thyroid or something. I don't know too much about that, but I've heard, yeah, it's supposed to be help, but anyway. But yeah, it depends on each one, but yeah, there's actually a type of flour that's very high in protein called lupin flour. It's quite high in fiber as well, but yeah, it's about 46% protein per volume, so that can be good. But yeah, it might be a bit of a funny taste to some people, but yeah. But you don't actually need tons and tons of protein. You probably don't need as much as what you actually think. Because there's a lot of people trying to sell you like high protein this, high protein that, but then it's like, you only need as much as whatever your body needs to like function and to recover and all that kind of stuff. Like if you're just an average person, it just works out, and you're not like, unless you're trying to get like massive, then you probably you don't have to eat that much. And in some cases, it's not the protein that's the low protein that's the problem. In some cases, it's just that they're not eating enough in general. This was actually something that what was he called? What was the bodybuilder guy called? The one that they're all kind of like going on about, where he talked about protein not really being as important as the calories. Hello, Travel and Music Shorts. How you doing? I hope you're well. Hello, Angela. I hope you're well. You need it to help repair yourself. Well, yeah, of course. But calories are the most important thing. So yeah, eating enough carbs and fats and stuff. I mean, proteins actually would probably be like a lot less than say like the carbs requirement and stuff like that, because you can probably get through like a few 100 grams of carbs a day, especially when you're training a lot, versus maybe like maximum of say 200 grams a day of protein. It depends on your body weight and stuff. But these guys that are on steroids, they're going to need more protein because they've got more, like muscular damage to break, and then they're also, so then they've got to like, sort of replenish it with more. So yeah, that might be where the whole one gram per pound of body weight come from, is actually like steroid users, whereas for everyone else it's probably closer to 0.7 to 0.8, maybe something like that, because they just don't need as much protein as steroid users. You know, they're not going to be able to work out as hard and not going to be breaking down as much muscle. So there's just going to be less requirement for protein, you know? So a lot of these recommendations from like the bros, they're actually because a lot of them were steroid users. So we shouldn't really be taking their advice necessarily. So, safe and ethical ways to trap. Okay. What was it called? The bodybuilder guy. That was like, yeah. People were going like crazy about him. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Not Frank Zane, it was the other one. Yeah, that's what was out of my mind. Mike something. Anyway, but yeah, I was thinking Michael Hearn, but it wasn't him. That was. I mean, that guy is just so obviously on roids, isn't he, Michael Hearn? Michael Hearn's just like, yeah, he's just denying it, and it's like, well, in my opinion, he can't just come clean, because like it would just make him look so bad, probably. I don't know, or he feels like it would. I don't know, really. It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, I'm not talking about him. Mike, somebody, I think it was. But I don't think he ever won. But yeah, this guy. But yeah, but a lot of people look up to him for like wisdom around bodybuilding. But then I don't know whether he had a thing called high intensity. What am I doing? High intensity training, and that was what his thing were known for. Yeah, high Zor combat fan. we're doing the James thing now. Yeah, Mike Mensa, that was the one. Yeah, 70s and 80s. Yeah, Mike Mensa, that was the one. Yeah, I knew it was Mike. But yeah, people were like, you know, but I don't know how much of what is, because to me the whole high intensity training thing is probably more as like, it might be more for like advanced lifters who, you know, built up a lot of metabolic sort of stress and stuff. When you're training that heavy that you need to kind of set days off and stuff, and you're like just focusing on like a really heavy workout like every few days or something. But I mean, whereas I think, yeah, if you're like beginner to intermediate, like a moderate volume approach probably is going to be better. I don't know. I mean, I'm not too much of a expert on all that stuff, but for like, if you're like really advanced, then you might want to lower the volume potentially. Otherwise, you could end up accumulating a lot of fatigue potentially, which I don't know. Mensa argued in his book Heavy Duty Nutrition that excess protein is not converted directly to muscle but oxidized for energy, converted to glucose or stored as fat. Yeah, so it ends up becoming sort of like inefficient because no, I don't take any of that Ardent Blue. I want to hear real Slim Shady, please perform it. Oh God, I'm not performing that right now. But yeah, Mike Mensa's heavy duty training, the high intensity training, which is but yeah, like there was like Mike Israetel that was like comparing himself, saying that I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mensa, so like you should like listen to me and I'm like so educated, and like Mike Mentor was like really good for his time, but I am like so science based, and we've like moved on from that. Hi, Counton Rest. I can't argue with Mentor's body. Well, I mean, personally, I think the whole bodybuilding, going to that level of bodybuilding where you're taking roids is not ideal, but I'd say the more classic bodybuilding styles are a lot better, but I don't know if some might say that you can't really compare like Mike Israetel and whatever. The thing with Mike Israetel is it seems like his genetics are a bit kind of cursed. I don't know. Like he was saying, he was having to do a whole bunch of bullshit because he had love handles or something, and no matter how lean he got, and like he's always been a bit concerned about, you know, that sort of stuff. But like he literally looks like he's got the body of like a bodybuilder, but the head of like a really like chubby guy or something. I don't know. But there's this whole moon face thing, isn't there, with all these anabolics that I think that can really sort of give you that sort of like bloated head look. Yeah. Yeah, he's got this like bloated kind of like, he's got this like test face, whatever you call it. You know, a lot of people end up doing that where they, once they start blasting a bunch of gear, they, what's it called? Is it acromegaly, I think, or something? Let me find out. Is it acromegaly? Yeah, where they get excess, caused by excess growth hormone, GH, usually from a non-cancer. But somebody's saying that these anabolics can cause it, and that's moon face, or one of the reasons anyway. But some people were saying that part of the reason why their faces don't look very lean is because even if, say, like they're at 15% body fat, let's say 250 pounds or whatever, right? They're actually still carrying around quite a lot of body fat, and because of how body fat is distributed differently in different parts of your body, but like as you go up in weight, it doesn't change how your body fat is distributed. So you would, so like, yeah, having, if say like someone's at 50, they're like, oh, well, I'm pretty, you know, 15% body fat or whatever, but then if you're at 250 to 300 pounds, then that's where that becomes kind of like, that's not lean anymore at that point, if you get me. So, okay, double night chest, coconuts, bowl thunder. Roy's definitely changed the face of your shape of your face and head. Yeah, there was that like clavicular, but it's like he'll try and attribute things to like the bone smash and stuff. But I'm wondering if a lot of that's just him using a bunch of anabolics to get there. He has these more kind of older features, but it's like if he keeps on using this stuff, I reckon in the next 5-10 years it's going to look really old or something, you know. It's like he's age maxing now, isn't it? I don't know. But they were saying they were using meth to try and be neurotypical. It's like, what you mean? Like, it's just sad, isn't it, that a guy who's like supposedly got everything now, right, is making millions, and he can't even have the confidence to even go out and talk to people, like whether it's a woman or whatever. But I don't know. This is the thing, right? Is that this whole hyper focus on looks, but then they still can't even talk to them, and then it's like the guy was just a mess the other night or something. He was just like doing whatever substances, and just like he could literally have just like ended himself, you know. But these people just don't care because they'll do anything for like the attention or whatever it is, and the money and all that. Crying in the kitchen from too much roids. Yeah, I've heard that with the roids, that you would have to like take some other substance to block the aromatization, because the problem with roids is that there's a lot of aromatization from testosterone into estrogen, which can then give you like gyno and other features like hello, boiling frog. Yeah, I can. How you doing? Hope you're well. So yeah, if you take in the roids, then you could potentially end up, well, you might have some like very masculine traits, but then also at the same time some very feminine traits as well. Hello, Foreman Khan. How you doing? No, I don't support Liverpool. I don't support any football team. Hi, Annie. Welcome back. Where you been? Thank you for the 16 likes, everybody. But yeah, stay natural, guys. You know, you don't need to be on a bunch of gear. You know, just you know, embrace whatever your genetics can, you know, do. Obviously, you can take creatine and stuff like that. But yeah, just, you know, there's no need for any like, you know, testosterone unless you're like hypogonadal or something, like, in my opinion. Oh, you need it, okay. You yeah, I'm alright, thank you, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really a big sports fan personally, but, you know, each to their own. I like to kind of just do my own thing, right? I have my own focuses, my own hobbies, that kind of stuff. Creatine works amazing for me, so much energy. Yeah, it's supposed to be good for like short bursts of like cardio and stuff like that. Like if you're doing, say, like sprints and things like that. I've just started on a new supplement called astaxanthin. Okay, Yuki. Hello, notification. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're all well tonight. So astaxanthin, right? So I've just started on this new supplement. It's some might call it a master antioxidant. It's like said to be, I think, something like 1,000 times stronger than vitamin C or something like that. You know, it's very, very strong. It's meant to have some really potent effects, but it can take weeks and weeks to really sort of reveal. But it's said to help with mitochondrial efficiency and stuff like that, because, you know, if your mitochondria isn't working properly, then your muscles and all that, they can't work properly. Your heart can't work properly. It's just, so it's going to benefit your, like, systemically. There's said to be like benefits to the brain, benefits to the heart, benefits to the skin even. I've heard of methylene blue, but I've also heard that can be dangerous as well. But methylene blue is not very natural. But I would say that this stuff's probably, in my opinion, safer. But I've also heard that it can be contraindicated for some people. But methylene blues tend to be yeah. I've heard it could be bad for people with like high blood pressure and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like a synthetic thing, but there might be certain people that benefit from it, but I personally would not be pushing it. I remember I actually had a talk with someone a while ago that actually tried methylene blue, and they said that it helps with their brain fog, but astaxanthin might have a similar effect. I'm just wondering if, like, yeah, I think they might work a little bit similar. I'd have to have a look and see what the comparison of effects are. Let's see. Astaxanthin, so skin improvement, so skin protection, eye health, joint health, and managing systemic inflammation. Acts as a hormetic nutrient supporting cellular defense pathways like NRF2. It is highly effective at quenching singlet oxygen safety, generally safe, may cause harmless red stool color or blood thinning. Well, that doesn't sound great, but current studies suggest up to 8 to 12 milligrams a day. The ones I'm on are like 18 milligrams a day. So then methylene blue says cognitive enhancement, memory improvement, neuroprotection, and metabolic support. Improves mitochondrial electron transport chain efficiency to boost ATP production. It also inhibits tau protein aggregation.
safety risky if uncontrolled, can interact negatively with antidepressants, serotonin syndrome, high doses are dangerous, and doses must be dosed carefully, typically in low amounts with USP grade recommended to avoid contaminants. So yeah, so basically I was saying that, you know, astaxanthin is natural, whereas methylene blue is synthetic. Yeah, creatine, I do take creatine, but then you could argue creatine is not natural, unless you're getting it from animal products, then it would be natural then, but yeah, because you can get, theoretically you can get creatine from animal products. Yeah, anyway, let's, but yeah, it doesn't say anything about the brain, but I have seen somewhere that astaxanthin might have some neuroprotective effects. But I've also heard that creatine is supposed to have some brain benefits as well, so if you use enough of it. Oh, really? Are you sponsored for that one? So yeah, so basically it says it's crossing the blood-brain barrier to protect the central nervous system from oxidative stress, inflammation, and cognitive decline. So it's said to help brain health by improving memory, response time, and potential neuroprotective benefits against dementia, Parkinson's, and stroke. Hello, Abigail. How you doing? Hope you're well. Welcome to my live stream. I actually like the live, everybody. We're almost on 20 likes. Thank you very much. Creatine 100% helps my brain. My mind gets fired up and has zero side or after effects. Yeah. I mean, I've heard, yeah, like megadosing can be good for, say, if you've had like a jet lag or something, just to kind of like help you to sort of give your brain a bit more energy because there's so many like there's so much mitochondria in the brain, and this idea that, you know, like the ATP in your brain, so like if you give your brain more into ATP in the form of creatine, then that's good. Anyway, it's a dye used in surgery too. Yeah, I've heard that. Wasn't it the first synthetic thing or something? It's just, I don't know, it just feels a bit kind of like, I don't know, like Frankenstein type of shit at that point. I think that's where I kind of draw the line personally. It's like when people start doing things like peptides and other kind of weird, you know, unnatural type of stuff. I mean, creatine's like it's just a thing of trying to like, you know, so because of creatine deficiency. So yeah, because of, like creatine is yeah. So basically, creatine, you can't, unless you're eating loads of like animal products. I mean, you could technically get a lot from, like, say, if you have, you know, red meat and stuff like that, you would naturally be getting a lot. Oh, Pollets, what you mean? Hello, Zim the Goat. Hello, Anime Guy. Oh, thank you. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. What's that? I need creatine. I read creatine can help out if you don't sleep much. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you have jet lag or anything, and you've only had, say, 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, I don't know if I've noticed it like that, but yeah, I've also heard that you have to probably consume at least like more than 5 grams a day, because otherwise you're not going to get much of that spillover effect, because up to about, say, 5 grams a day, then it's probably more muscles that are getting, the muscles are hungry for like creatine, and then once the muscles are saturated, then that's where you get the brain benefits. So that's the important caveat to that. But yeah, but some people try and scare people about, you know, like potential hair loss and stuff like that, which could be the case if you're prone to hair loss. That could speed up the hair loss. In that case, then I think there are certain things that you can do, but yeah, it's up to you to think whether it's worth doing. And then there's other things like, yeah, like people saying that how it could be bad for the kidneys or something, but I've also heard that that's only the case if your kidneys are already struggling. So yeah, it's like a lot of things out there have some scare about them. So I remember there was people saying that red tea or rooibos tea is like that there was some potential harm to some organ or something. And it's like, well, but it was some kind of rare thing that happened. A double dose gets me through the day. Well, that's good. Maybe it's good for like autistic people and people with ADHD and stuff like that if they find that they're just getting exhausted. So I wonder if it can help people with like the spectrum to be able to function. Like maybe they can have better executive function and stuff like that by sort of increasing their alertness, increasing their focus and stuff like that. Hello, Pushkar. Ah, God. Yeah. Okay, 4 stone muscle in 5 months. Something changed that year, DHT. Yeah. Yeah, DHT, it's, that's where the testosterone converting to DHT. Hello, Gagana, how you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah, so DHT is like it's called dihydrotestosterone, which is said to be one of the main culprits for male pattern baldness. That's probably why men tend to more likely get it more earlier in life. Some women tend to get it a lot more, let's say, like menopausal sort of era. That's why you might see some women who will start to the hair starts to thin. If anything, you even start to see some women going bald. It's like when you start getting to like 60s, 70s, you see some women actually, losing quite a lot of hair. What's DHT? It's called dihydrotestosterone, which is a type of testosterone. It's a powerful testosterone, but it's like the problem when people take steroids and stuff, they actually massively increase their DHT. Hello, J Biggs. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the 20 likes, everybody. So yeah, so you don't want too much DHT, but also you want enough to be able to be at a certain level. But yeah, well, it's like testosterone, right? You want enough, but you don't want too much, because then you could end up becoming manic. Like you've seen like roid rage and stuff like that when they're going up into like super physiological levels of test. That is not healthy. So I don't know why anyone would want to do that. So I remember I think it was Alex Eubank, and he was starting to go into the super physiological territory, and he was starting to get that kind of male dominance hierarchy thing where so you have to be careful not to be at a point where you're aggressive. And I mean, you can be aggressive in a good way, but then when you start to get aggressive around people and you're being nasty and just, yeah, and you want to be just kind of dialing that down, don't you, Hello, yeah, so thank you, Duncan. Hi, Anita, how you doing? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. I'm around 22 likes now, thank you. Yeah, test is high enough. Yeah, as long as your test is within the normal range but the thing is, right, you should look at your free test, right, because your total testosterone is not really that relevant because most of that testosterone is probably going to be bound up to receptors it can be bound up to things like I think SHBG, I think it's called. Yeah, SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. So that basically can block up some of that. So it's said that certain foods like refined sugars and stuff can increase SHBG and make it harder to basically convert into free up testosterone and stuff. But I don't know too much about that, but yeah. Yeah, so what made you like lose the hair? Maybe you just have like very like good genetics for building muscle and bad genetics for losing hair. I remember there were people saying that about nettles supposedly like preventing hair loss or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I remember someone was saying it. That it's got some natural kind of DHT blocking effects or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to have a look, but yeah. What's it? See, it says it's a natural DHT blocker by inhibiting the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, which converts testosterone into hair-thinning dihydrotestosterone. But I wonder if, like, does it slow down muscle growth? Because if someone's interested in that, could it potentially have some negative effects as well? You know, you don't sting your head. You don't do that. It's like people would use nettle, like nettle tea and stuff like that, and you would have the extracts or whatever, but so it says it's unlikely to significantly slow down muscle growth in most individuals. While DHT itself plays a role in maintaining muscle mass, the impact of natural nettle supplementation on muscle mass is generally minimal for several reasons. Mechanism of action. Nettle root works by, so it's the root that it's from, not the actual plant itself, or the actual, visible part of the plant. Works by inhibiting the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which reduces the conversion of testosterone into DHT. It acts primarily as a localized or weak inhibitor compared to pharmaceutical options like finasteride. Rather than lowering total testosterone, blocking this conversion can actually lead to a slight increase in free testosterone, which is beneficial for muscle maintenance. The DHT inhibition from herbal supplements like nettle is often more focused on hair follicles and prostate tissue rather than the muscle tissue, meaning it does not typically create a body-wide significant loss of androgenic effects. So that would be good then, wouldn't it? Anyway, Alicia says, how to approach your crush? I'm looking for a good answer. I would just say, I suppose nowadays you can just send them a message or whatever, but if you see them in person, just go up and say hi, Just go and just try and start a conversation or whatever, just go hi, and just kind of start off with small talk first, and then kind of, I don't know, just introduce yourself, just try and build it up slowly, and yeah. But yeah, definitely not in the park. That would not be good, would it? What does that mean, armadillo? What does that even mean? I don't know what they're on about. Anyway, so yeah. They were saying there's good benefits, like with the anti-inflammatory properties, which can aid in recovery after exercise. Ask them for the time what you mean. Oh yeah. It came up with the topic with Chris Akabusi years ago. What's that? Don't know who that is anyway. Hope you're all well tonight, people. Thank you all for being here. So, what's this? Okay, whatever. Being stupid now. Alright, we don't look like we've really gone up in subs very much, but yeah, just I don't know if anyone's new here, but yeah, we're trying to hit, you know, like 5k subs, so we're getting close to it, but we do kind of seem to have slowed down again, so yeah. So hopefully we're going to get over there maybe by this weekend or something, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I've tried Indian food, yeah. Yeah, I quite like some of the Indian food, yeah. But I've heard that it's supposed to be way better in India though. Like, it's like a lot of things, isn't it? You know, like Italian food, like real authentic stuff is going to be better. Hello, Kokoba, but then again, it's like I have actually had like some proper like Indian food, like was actually made by Indians rather than some kind of crap that you get like at the shop that's just a kind of crappy version of it. It's like you'll get like crappy versions of like Italian food where you get things like pizzas that are just really like low quality and what have you. I don't know who that is, Kogpa. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Zesty vibe. What do you mean? Who gives you a zesty vibe? I don't know what you guys are on about, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who W2S is, but yeah, apparently it's a YouTuber, so yeah. Hello, Sir Morphil. Okay. It's getting stupid now. I guess some people have not got anything better to do, so whatever. Anyway, there's a PayPal link if anyone wants to support the channel. There's also Buy Me a Coffee as well, but for anyone that wants to do more of a, you know, like continued payments. It's just I don't have monetization anymore, so it's just, you know, it would mean a lot to me if people, you know, would contribute anything at all actually, but yeah. Anyway, it is what it is, but yeah. But right, I just gotta remember, live in the end. Live as though I already have like, you know, 100 people contributing every month or something, I don't know. Or maybe more, but anyway. Hello, Abhigyan Singh. I always like this slanting roof with a window. Okay. Good for you. That's from 90s. Oh yeah, I don't know who that is, but anyway. Oh really? Sprint and hurdling, track and field. Oh yeah. Alright. You learn something new every day. Yeah, is it African or something? It sounds African. Probably a lot of them are from like places like Kenya and Ethiopia and stuff like that. Uganda, Somalia, those sort of places. Seems to be Ghana and, you know, a lot of those African countries really. Yeah. Living in the 90s. Why the 90s? You want to live in the wish fulfilled is what I was saying. Live as though you already have your wish already fulfilled. So how would somebody who already has their wish fulfilled act? And then you start to... Some people might say that's LARPing, but yeah. It's like when someone acts rich. It's like I was saying earlier about like... If you're trying to go out your way to get really cheap food or whatever, you're stressing out about the price of it, then that's like scarcity mindset, and that might actually be subconsciously blocking you from actually getting rich. So if you're being really stingy with your money, then reality is just going to keep on perpetuating the state of poverty, basically. It's kind of how I see it, but yeah. Prefer the 70s best times ever. Oh really? When were you born? Didn't know you was even around in the 70s, but yeah. I was born in the 90s, so... Whatever, chunky. Oh goodness. Anyway, what time are we on now? Alright, 2234 apparently. 1967. Is that for real? 6-7. Oh god. Hello, Kid Stardust. Thank you. Alessandro says I was born in 1973. My dad was actually born in 1972, so you're a year younger than my dad. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Let's get 30 likes on the live. Yeah, we've got 13 in the building, so thank you all for being here tonight. Yeah, for real. 67. Oh goodness. And my uncle was born in 69, as if, yeah, 69. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that song in it. Summer of 69. My dad was born in 1938. Alright. Yeah. Oh, sorry to hear about that. Thank you, Duncan. Oh yeah. Summer of 69, eh? Brian Adams. Yeah, hope you're all well anyway. You're welcome, Kid Stardust. What's your name anyway? My mom was born in 1947. My grandmother was born in 1944. Hi, Flashpoint. Yeah, I do remember you. Yeah, it's been a while. Where you been? Yeah, my dad was born in 72. I was born in 95. Yeah. Yeah, how's your day been, everybody? Hope you've all had a good one. It's good to have you all here. So again, if anyone wants to contribute, there's a PayPal link down below. So I can probably try and shout people out if you want to do that. But yeah, is it Brian Adams? Bryan, I think, isn't it? So both of those spellings are wrong. Brian with an I would be like AC/DC Brian Johnson spelling, or Brian from Family Guy. I think is spelled with an I. Brian Griffin, 53 years ago. Yeah, my dad's 53. Yeah. Yeah, Brian Griffin. Yeah, some people were saying that when Brian Griffin first started, it was like the voice of reason, and then he just become like this dick that was just this kind of pretentious liberal dick kind of thing where it's like, no offense on liberal or anything, it's just he would just kind of have this sort of self-righteous kind of attitude or whatever, and just think that he's morally superior to everybody. But yeah, and then you had Peter that just become this really degenerate guy or something, that sort of thing. But yeah, but yeah, I don't know if anyone watches Family Guy, but yeah. But it's just interesting how the characters change over the years. Apparently Quagmire's been kind of tamed down since Disney bought him out or something. And then apparently Herbert's hardly in it anymore. Yeah, hello Boogie Boss. Hope you're well tonight. I do a bit of Quagmire impression. Alright! Giggity giggity goo! Alright! Yeah, long time no see. How you doing? I hope you're well. Were you not here the other day or something? But anyway. Yeah, I've been trying to get back into this stuff again. I kind of just lost the motivation to come on here really, but yeah, I'm trying to get back into it though. Hello Ali 12 Pro. What do you mean? Bro's speaking. Are you on about the sound of it or whatever? Okay. Thank you for the 25 likes, everybody. Let's get 30 likes real quick. It's just as old as my phone is. Okay. Yeah, trolls and stuff. Look, King Leon, how you doing? Yeah. Those. Yeah, Family Guy, Quagmire. Have you seen that one where he gets married to a friggin' giraffe? And then they have a kid that's like half giraffe and half quagmire, and he goes, "Giraffity!" And he goes, "That's not mine." Oh, really, monkey? What's natural? Yeah, my voice is natural, yeah. Yeah, we're monetized, but then... I mean, I've been demonetized. YouTube did that, but I'm not bothering trying to re-monetize, because then they said I'd have to, like, upload some video or whatever, and then I'd probably have to, like, go through all my videos to get rid of shit. I just can't be arsed with all that anymore, you know. Shells with it all, you know. But anyway. Oh, okay. I mean, it's like, you know, if you think I've got monotone voice, then that's just you know what it is, right? I'm just kind of chilling here, you know. I'm not always gonna be like super like expressive all the time, you know. I'm just kind of chilling, you know. But yeah, they're always just trying to find whatever. Too much hassle, I get you. Yeah. Why have you been monetized on YouTube at all? Yeah, monetization can be a lot of faffing around. It's like, you know. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just focused on like trying to just be successful. I mean, I've been doing busking and stuff and trying to focus on that again. And it's good to get out and just get you out of your comfort zone and stuff like that. And been trying to work on the confidence and try to improve on like eye contact and stuff, because it was quite awkward at first and trying to like, you know, give eye contact and stuff. But the more that you're engaging with your crowd, then the more it's gonna benefit you. So hello Andrea, hope you're well. Thank you for joining me tonight. You're from the Philippines. Oh yeah. How's it like over in the Philippines then? Yeah, I hope everyone's had a good day today. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Boogie Boss says, what's that about? Okay. Well, I'm just using my phone, so I'd have to like, how would that even work? Would it be like a port? I don't know, but if someone wants to like gift me one or something, then, you know, maybe like, you know, if you're not going to send me money, maybe you could gift me a microphone then or something, I don't know. If you want to do that, but I don't even know how it would even work. It would be like a portable microphone, or it's probably the phone's internal microphone that's, you know, limited or whatever, but I don't know. People were saying it was having issues, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I'm not sure how it would even work, because it would have to like attach to a microphone or something, I don't know. Okay. Maybe I could set it on like an Amazon wish list or something. So if people want to then, you know, contribute, then that's how they could do it or something. I can hear you using your phone, yeah. Well, I'm a bit backed off from it, from this kind of point of view, but as in like, listen, like I'm a couple of feet away from the phone, so maybe that's having an effect as well. It's probably picking up more static the more backed off it is. I suppose if I had something right up to me, then okay, whatever Sasuk knew. Whatever. I can go to sleep whenever I want to go to sleep. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you, Mum, for telling me I should go to sleep, yeah. Hi, James Duncan on. How you doing? Yeah, I'm James now. I was Jamie, but now I'm James. It's my new identity now. And no one's going to argue with me about that, you know?
I affirm my new identity as James Brown. Yeah. Because people were asking me about that, but yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I'm James Brown now. Here we go. Hello, Graham. I don't know, because I don't watch football, so I would have absolutely no idea, unfortunately, but yeah. Yeah, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Okay, take care, Duncan. Have a good rest, or whatever you're up to. I guess, or whatever you got to do rest of your day. Is there any chance I could know the biggest mistake of your life and how you solved it? Okay, go ahead. Hi, Ajit Mishra. How you doing? I'm not too bad, thank you. How you doing? Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, everybody. That would be really appreciated. Maybe I should have put some like poll on screen or something. Maybe I could try and do that to like be a bit more interactive or something, but yeah. What could I put? What's the discussion? Says Philip. I mean, nothing much in particular at the moment. We're just chatting at the moment, really. But someone talk about making mistakes or something. But let's just put a poll or something. I'll just put like. I'll put this one because there's this debate, and it might sound like a stupid question, but see what people have to say about that. I'll just hang on. Yeah, there's a poll in the chat right now, and we've got 2 votes up to now. So anyway, I remember I used to put like polls in the chat and stuff, and I'll have to look at some good ones that I could put in there to kind of just like get it in like interactive and all that, because yeah, I want to try and make my chat more interactive and stuff. Maybe I have come to your live earlier. I don't know. Where am I at? I'm in the UK. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm from Canada. But apparently a lot of them just sound like Americans, but then some have like a distinct Canadian accent. It's mad how can they have an American accent when they're like so far away from America? Like Canada's a very big place, and yet how could they sound American when America itself has many accents as well? Nothing like Americans. Well, I guess it depends where you're from, but maybe they start to sound a bit more similar towards the border, like if you say like towards the Michigan border or something like that, and I don't know, but accents are a very peculiar thing, aren't they? They can, in this country, the accents can change literally just down the road. It's that mad. But yeah, just like an Aussie is different than a Kiwi. Yeah, they're quite different, and it's like, hi Charlie Spare, how you doing? They're like Venom Avenge, and he's from like New Zealand. You can tell like with the accent, it's like instead of biscuit, it's like Australia would be like biscuit, and then it would be like in New Zealand biscuiton. Yeah, so there's the ways that you can like notice differences and stuff. It's like they'll say tin instead of 10. A lot of them.
London or Ireland, none of them. I live in York, England. Thank you for liking the live, everybody. Nice one. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to the live, everybody. So share this out if you can. That would be really appreciated. Alright, Truth. What you say? Hang on a second. I see your channel growing, or are you going to be ready for the fame that comes your way? You are going to be entering a different level of existence. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? You have to be ready for like whatever's to come. How they say, be careful what you wish for. So you have to be ready for the potential like implications of it. Like I've heard that in some cases, people, you know, it stresses them, you know. So I remember there was someone called like GB ASMR, like big ASMR channel that gets like targeted by a lot of like stalkers and things like that, and just weird type of people, and they have to really kind of, can be quite stressful trying to sort of just try and sort of protect yourself against a lot of that, because like wasn't Amaranth actually like targeted or something a while ago, and someone stalked her or something, but I don't know who that is. Boogie Boss. Hello, Rekha Chandra. Truth says, you seem cool, I think you'll be alright. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, you just have to learn to be able to... The best thing to do is to just show indifference to it all, really. You know, it's like, well... Because if people see you as someone that they can easily take advantage of and make, you know, it's like you have to just show that no matter what people do, that you're just not really affected by it. So, yeah. But there could be potential problems that could, what you mean, longish, plenty. My name is Asmia. Is it Asmia? Is that right? Some of these names can be a bit hard for me to pronounce. So, if you can, like, excuse me, but yeah. Anyway, hope you're all well tonight, people. Yes, correct. Oh, well, that's good then. So where are you from, by the way? I'm guessing India or somewhere like that. Anyway. What have you all been up to today, everybody? I'm kind of just, yeah, a little bit tired, but not too bad. Hello, KHK1. But I've just got to make sure I don't overdo, like, the training and stuff like that, you know? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's like, that can just burn me out, you know? And then I'm just not going to have as much energy to, like, have fun and laugh. Like, because I was getting to a point where I was just living for the training, and that's not good. I would train hard, and then, so I'd just about be like recovering when I'd be going training, and then I'd be training a lot, and then like afterwards I'd just be like out of it, basically. I'd try to spend time to recover, and then I'd just only just about be recovered for the next time. That's not good, is it? You should be feeling fresh, you know, like you shouldn't be like going to a point where you feel absolutely just drained mentally and physically and all that, you know. I'm from the UK. Where are you from? Nice to meet you all anyway. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's all about finding that right balance where you're training enough for health benefits and to get more energy and all that, but going too hard is then just going to lead to a depletion of your energy and lead to burnout. So Hello, Alice. How you doing? Are you from New Zealand, are you? Just getting a lot of people from New Zealand tonight. Yeah. Must be the algorithm or something, I don't know. So yeah, what are your plans for the weekend, everybody? Yeah, you just have to like assume a new identity of somebody who already has everything that you want, yeah? What would the person that already has everything act like? Because you got to remember that what you're seeing right now is just some might say it's just a mirror of the past. That this isn't you. What you are seeing right now is not you. It's just so all these sort of like, just kind of like, when you're not seeing the 3D change, you're like, oh, why am I not getting to where I want to be? Well, maybe it's just kind of remnants of the past that still need to be resolved. So yeah. But a lot of people just don't believe in this stuff, so they just stay stuck. And a lot of people don't understand it, and they think that their interpretation is that to manifest, they think that what the people mean is that you just do nothing. It doesn't work like that. It's all about embodiment. It's all about embodying the persona and all that of somebody who has it. It's whatever it is that you want. What kind of person would have that? Become that person. But obviously stay authentic and all that, but you have to take on some of the characteristics of like the confidence, the swagger, all that kind of stuff. Because it's just going to help you, with your success if you believe you're already there. So it's about stopping chasing. Stop chasing and start accepting. It's about accepting a new reality. Because it's like people aren't accepting it because they don't believe it. They think that, well, because I don't see it in 3D, therefore it's not real. But 3D can take time to catch up, so maybe you actually if you feel the need to try and come into live and do that, Oh, I don't know that one, Mackie. I've never seen Five Nights at Freddy's. Anyway, but yeah, there's just if you want to like come in here and be negative, then maybe it's you that should be going to therapy. Sounds like it's a you problem, really. Why are you so bothered what other people are doing with their lives? Just sad people, I kind of pity them in a way, because if you feel the need to do that, then there's clearly something wrong there, I would think. But at the end of the day, it's not my problem, so I just, there's no point in me worrying about it, really. People will come to the light at their own time, that's the thing, You can't force it. Hello, the Alpha Silence. Okay, what's your question? What's this? Okay, we're just gonna like listen. Alright. Hi, Ayush. I'm doing fine, thank you. How you doing, Rio? Good to see you again. I don't watch TV. What you mean? What are you saying? Bits of it. Yeah, it's quite strong. I'm not like the strongest, anything like that, but I try to just to be generally fit. not just about being strong, but being just generally athletic, having the endurance and the stamina and all that. Because what good is being strong but then having zero stamina? You know, there's a lot of people in the gym that do that, where they just kind of, all they do is focus on lifting weights, and then they get out of breath really easily. Because you got to remember, if you're carrying around all this extra muscle, that requires extra oxygen. So I'd actually say that it's even more imperative to actually do some kind of cardiovascular conditioning once in a while, to try and, you know, even just to kind of get up, you know, because, you know, you don't want to end up having, you know, being not functional and all that, you know. And it's a lot of these bodybuilders, you know, you just hear them and they're gasping for air. It's like, that's not fitness, is it? Anyone that's deluded into thinking that's just, you're just mistaken, I'm afraid. You know, fitness is about not just being strong at the gym or whatever, and on these machines that have these very, like, you know, rigid movement patterns and stuff. It's about having functionality. It's about, you know, having that strength, endurance, what have you, and yeah, mentally fit as well is another one. Yeah, mental fortitude, I think they call it, isn't it? Is that the right word? Being mentally strong. Yeah, see what it means. Brilliance and discipline to maintain focus, commitment, and composure under pressure or adversity. Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. But yeah, I think it's also important to be able to get out of your comfort zone and test your boundaries, like see how far you can go, how far can you push yourself past your boundaries. Because a lot of these boundaries is just walls that you put up because you're afraid to go past it for whatever irrational reason. So yeah, courage isn't about about losing fear. It's about doing things in spite of fear, you know? Look, King Leon, what are you saying? What you mean? So yeah. So people have been like curious about, yeah, this last video I'll explain the name change, but anyway. Quagmire. Yeah, I was doing an impression of Quagmire before. Alright! And then you've got Cleveland that goes, that's nasty. Does that a lot, doesn't he? Has anyone seen those clips of Family Guy when Cleveland in the bath or something? That's like quite a common thing with him, like where he's like Peter will just like go and crash into his house or something, and then he'll be in the bath, and then he like falls out and then onto the garden or something. Not really Peter, no. I can do a Herbert impression. Hello there, Chris. Hi, Telio. Who was right? Hello there, Chris. You're a muscular man. Oh, God. Let's get rid of that. Alright. Hope you're all well tonight, people. I'm probably going to get going soon, so yeah. Any more questions? Thank you all for hanging out. But yeah, can we get 2 more likes on the live before we go? On 28 likes, we need to get to 30 likes. But then again, that might be because I haven't liked it myself. But like I was saying about, with fitness, it's not just about how much weight you can lift. You should be training your heart in some way, whether that's just doing circuit training or any kind of cardio training. But okay, BKW, hello, Mesa Recto. Yeah, do some voices like, I do Donald Trump impressions. It's so great. I'm so tremendous doing the Donald Trump. And if you don't agree, then you're fake news. Hello, Constantin. What's this? This isn't a troll account, is it? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, well that's good then. I'm glad you like that. What other ones can I do? Remember Biden was like, hey, it's Joe Biden. Born and raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Oh yeah, Zelensky. Oh good. Yeah, people were saying I look like Zelensky or something. Maybe it's the beard, I don't know. Hey, my name is Vladimir Zelensky. I can't do the accent. It sounded weird when I started to do the Eastern Europe accent. Hi, Toddy. How you doing? Hope you're well tonight. Make sure you like the live, everybody. Right, get to 30 likes. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I'll try, but I'm not the best. Hi, Kudrum, how you doing? Hello, Panoskiotis. What does that mean? Nah. It's probably going to sound bad or something if I do that. I'm doing fine, thank you, Kudrum. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me tonight. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. That would be really appreciated. At least we've had a decent chat tonight. I mean, we've had a decent amount of convo in here, because sometimes it can be slow, sometimes it can be busier, but so when there's engagement, otherwise it's just kind of boring, so yeah, so thank you all for making it more lively and stuff. So but yeah, that's good to hear. Glad you're doing fine. We're getting close to 5k subs now, so hopefully we're getting out there soon. But yeah, we just live in the end, just live as though it's already done, And then reality just has no choice but to follow. You could argue that the imaginary realm is just as real as reality. So once you kind of start to live in that mindset, then there's less pressure on your 3D reality having to even be real yet, because because you can just kind of imagine something else. But yeah, some people might just say that's fantasy, but yeah. Well, who's to say fantasy is any less real? Just because a reality is objective, does that make it any more real than a subjective reality? It comes down to what the definition of reality is, you know? What even is reality at the end of the day? Fundamentally, is there even such a thing as reality? Because if reality is so subjective, then we're getting deep now. No, I'm not going there right now. No, sorry, I'm not dating anybody. Oh, goodness. Just earn a few more minutes and then I'm going to get going. Let's get to 30 likes real quick. We're on 29 likes, so thank you very much. What was the, let's have a look, what is the numbers in the poll or something? I'm guessing most probably would vote yes. 61%, oh, so 39% actually said no, but some argue that a single droplet of water isn't wet or something. If we're talking about like a single molecule of water, the argument is that the thing itself is not wet because it is itself. So it's like it makes things wet. It's like a philosophical thing, I guess, but it's like there was this thing where someone was saying that no action is selfless. Is one thing that I was contemplating. It's like no action is selfless. Hello, David. What do you mean? Hey, Catfin, how you doing? I hope you're well. So, no action is completely selfless, because even if, say, you were to like try and save someone's life, but you would, it's in your self-interest to do that in a way. Because it's like if you didn't do it, then you couldn't live with yourself, right? So there's a partially like selfish reason. I'm 30 years old. So there's like a partially like selfish reason to like want to do good, you could say. It makes you feel good by helping others, say. No, don't speak like a robot now. Can we get one more like, guys? We'll be going in a minute, but be on for nearly 2 hours. What does it mean when you... Here we go. Stupid comments again. Okay. Crazy part is a beard makes you older than you really are. Yeah, like, if I completely got rid of the beard, then I've been, when I've like trimmed it down to just a stubble even, people would give a different age. Like some people might say mid-20s even. But then with the beard it probably adds a few years. But yeah, some people, they associate beards with like maturity, I guess. Not 40, I mean, I feel like 40 is good. But I think without it, people think I look about 25 or something. I've never had someone say I legit look 40 even with the beard. Most people still seem to think I look pretty young with the beard even. But anyway, Mr. Roger, how you doing? I mean, if I was like 40, then shouldn't I have a lot more wrinkles and things like that, and more signs of aging even? Like there would have to be more like kind of aging signs. If you're 40, you're probably going to start seeing more of the kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. But people have actually thought I look young for my age, especially when my beard was shorter. I remember like someone was like saying, yeah, I'm 30 years old, but like I remember like I think when I was 27, someone was surprised at my age and they thought I was like early 20s or something. But I probably didn't have as much of a beard there or something, but I don't know. And people can look different in person as well. So on screen it might actually make me look older even as well. So people can look different and stuff, depending on if it's in person or not. Okay, I think you're just trying to like just be negative and all that, so why don't you just go away? Don't know why you need to be here if like I live up in York, Joseph, East Midlands, alright. There's a possibility. How you doing? Yeah. I do like to have a bit of stubble though, that's just how I like to have it really personally, but it's just about trying to find a balance between looking mature but not looking old, sort of thing. So I want to look mature, but then I don't want to look like I'm aging, if you will. So yeah. So I'm not into trying to become some fucking pretty boy. Not interested in becoming one of them. I'd rather embrace like the manliness and stuff and just, you know what I mean? So I see a lot of these, like, seems to be popular for a lot of these guys to have these kind of very kind of pretty boy type of features, you know? Anyway. Oh really? Cataracts, yeah, that's up towards like Durham way, isn't it? Well, not quite that far up, but it's heading that way. It's up near Richmond, isn't it? Yeah. I remember someone was saying that Richmond's a very like conservative place, isn't it? Hello, Drew V23. So these stupid comments say. Oh, you know Richmond. Oh yeah. Richmond sausages. That's what makes me think. Yeah, I'm James Brown going forward now, yeah. I'm doing fine, thank you. How you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, going forward it's James Brown. Yeah. I was born Jamie Brown, but yeah, a lot of people call me James though, so you know, maybe I should embrace it. That's what I've been thinking, you know. Sounds cooler, I don't know. James Brown, Jamie Brown, I don't know, I mean, Jamie is often like a girl's name, like Jamie Lee Curtis you might think of, or something. Like there's quite a few females called Jamie, so Jim Brown. Oh yeah. Yeah, I changed my shirt, yeah. Hi, Kortukea. Okay, where are you off to? Anywhere nice? Join me, actually like the live, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell icon. How fast is the fastest rocket in light speed percentage? Very low in terms of like speed percentage, I'm assuming. Wasn't there a rocket that went like 25,000 miles per hour? I don't know if there's been a faster one since, but that's still like a very, very small percentage, because it lights like 186,000 miles per second, or about 299,000, nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. I haven't got a clue. I'd have to really I wouldn't have a clue really. I don't even know exactly what the fastest rocket is. It's probably like 0.01% or something crazy, but if not even less than that. Well, of course I would change my mind. Well, what's with it with these stupid comments? I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a rocket scientist. I never professed to be, did I? No, I never said I was a rocket scientist. Hello, Miss Alia. What's the fastest one? Yeah, I'm not religious, so why would I go to a mosque? Let's have a look at the fastest rocket ever made. Oh wow, apparently there's one that goes 430,000 miles per hour, or 192 kilometers a second. That's still about, what, like a thousandth of the speed of light or something, or even just a bit less than that. Okay. Hello, the Leaf. How you doing? Oh goodness. What is it with these comments there? Yeah. Maybe it's because it's my name change or something. Well, I'm probably going to get off in a sec, but yeah. 0.0037%. Well, apparently there's a rocket here that says at 430,000 miles per hour. So basically it says 192 kilometers a second. So if we put in that, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure it's not that. It's probably going to be more like 0.006 or something like that. But let me just like test that. So if we go, let's say, basically like, how would we do that? 192 is what percentage of 299,792, wasn't it? Something like that. So let's see what it says. 0.064 it says here. That's the percentage. Mine is with humans on it. Well, you didn't, did you actually say with humans on it? Because, yeah. So let's have a look. Fastest rocket with humans. Yeah, that was 24,791 miles per hour. So that, I was right with the, yeah, but there was, anyway. Okay, Miss Alia, yeah. We're so smart and you're all so stupid. That'd be crazy at 400,000 miles an hour though, yeah. Well, even 24, nearly 25,000 miles an hour is insane. it's hard to even imagine something going that fast. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've got 49 volts on the poles, yeah. That's not bad. Can we round it up to 50 volts or something before I go? But yeah, just the thought of like, something going that fast, and even at 25,000 miles an hour, it's still a very, very small percentage of the speed of light. Hello, Drew Talbot. But according to like biocentrism, that light doesn't actually travel, but rather consciousness is the only reality, and therefore the argument that nothing travels from external, but rather it's just that it takes a certain amount of time for us to register something in our consciousness that we would perceive as a time delay or something, which would be perceived as, like it traveling or something. But the argument is that, an observer must exist in order to validate something. So did the light even travel in that case? That sounds crazy, but there's like light refraction and all that, but then it's like, but there's this argument that like, there's what they call the observer effect, and that it's the observer that brings something into reality. Because like they were finding that, like for example, like with the double slit experiment, where depending on whether the observer would appear to be a particle, but without an observer, it was just a wave or something. So it was saying that basically that reality doesn't really exist unless an observation is made, in a sense. But what I would, this is my take on it, that it's not that it's traveling 93 million miles, because space and time are concepts of the mind. It just takes 8 minutes for us to register the light. This is getting deep now, but yeah. What time is it? It's 27 minutes past 11. Don't know if you noticed the name change, Haley, but yeah. I've decided that I'm James from now on, because people like to call me James and I think it sounds better, so yeah. And it's the same name as the famous singer, so yeah. So I just like own that shit, and just kind of be like, yeah, that's my name going forward now, So yeah, if people don't like it and stuff, but yeah. Thank you for the likes, everybody. So have you sorted anything out for the trip or whatever? Hello Edmund, how you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you all for being here tonight. You or hi, what are you talking about? What you mean? I'm just talking about the fundamental reality and all that. Fundamental reality is in like, what is reality sort of thing. Oh, here we go. Thank you for the likes, everybody. So, what is reality on a fundamental level, as in, is there even such a thing as an objective reality? I mean, you could argue that it's like even people's perceptions of blue, or they might experience something different. It's a thing called qualia, where it's like the subjective point of view. And you'll get some like scientists who'll be like, oh, well, it's just that they believe in this like materialistic view, right? But it's like based on what? Like what? I'm not saying there's a God and all blah blah blah, but it's like, if anything, I feel like some of the scientists are just as dogmatic in a way. Because they're just believing that all of this has come about through just random chance somehow. I don't know. It's just, it all feels a bit like it's an incomplete explanation, to say the least. But if you look at reality from like consciousness being fundamental, then I feel like that makes more sense. So yeah, like consciousness is not just interacting with reality, but it's the creator of everything. And maybe this is what God actually truly is. God is in just pure consciousness. And this could explain creation, as in, because they were saying that God is the creation and the creator kind of thing, is what some people might say. You know, that as in consciousness is the creator that creates itself. Hello Emma, how you doing? You have 40. Hello, Radal and Nash. How you doing tonight? Hope you're well. You have $40 on if it was the year 1826. How many? Okay, well we'll just get rid of that. Here we go again. Our mind is dissolving over time, space and time, probably not. I mean, I could argue space and time are products of the mind. What scientists told what? Hello, Alex. How you doing? Hope you're well. Make sure you subscribe if you're here. Make sure you like the live. I'm from the UK, Red Owl Nash. Where are you from? So, because if time and space are products of the mind, then consciousness created it. Therefore, it has no external reality. Is what some people extrapolate. Now, some people might say, well, there's still some. Hello, Deathbat. There's still some away from Liverpool. Liverpool. There's still some objective reality, even if it is just in the form of waves and stuff. But then some say that they're waves of probabilities and not definite realities until observed. So they just exist in states of possibilities or probabilities until an observation is made that forces a reality to exist. So you could say that consciousness is what really brings the reality into existence, because without it, it's just meaningless and just a mess of probabilities and all that. Like, for example, flipping a coin, it's like it has a 50% chance of going one way or the other. Hi, the Elawa, is it? Well, you sound boring. No, if that's what you want to think, then you can just move on to the next thing, can't you? Hi, Dark Rider, how you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Hello, what's this? Kenny, how you doing? Malinga Bowling, is it? I've never heard of that. What's that do? I've heard of Tyler, the creator. What about him? Never really heard of him, but yeah, I remember someone was showing me a song or something about a little fixed heart. Oh, really? Good for you. Okay. What are you on about? I'm gonna be getting going in a sec, but yeah. This chat's can get a bit ridiculous sometimes, can't it? But you won a GF, well, good luck with that. If Ireland, oh yeah, top of the morning to you. Time and space are products of the mind. Well, that's kind of where I'm going with it. Now you might say, oh, that's crazy and that doesn't make sense, whatever, but if consciousness is required in order to have any kind of sense of space and time, then what really exists outside of consciousness is what I'd argue. How can anything really exist in any kind of state? And it's just probabilities, it's just, yeah. It's like when people say, if a tree falls over no one's around here, does it still make a noise? Well, yeah. Well, no, I mean, no, it doesn't, because a noise requires an observer, right? Oh, really, Alex? Well, that's just too bad, isn't it? Sometimes the accent can be a bit tricky, but yeah, I'm getting a bit tired now, but yeah. Ivory Coast. Alright. Hi Aiden, how you doing? I hope you're well tonight. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, I might come back on tomorrow, guys, and just yeah, have another chat and stuff. Alright, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.